y'all. Hey. Did y'all miss me? I'm so sorry. I am a day late, but not a dollar short. Okay. Or maybe I should do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm a day late, but not a dollar short. Okay. Hey. Oh, hey, Sky. Sorry. Let me turn my music on, child.
How are you doing?
Hey, Legendary. I'm wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, Sky. Man, the reviews. They're,
Oh, yeah. I'm not talking about that episode tonight, though.
I know, but I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
okay. Okay.
it's like I was like, let me share it to this person. They watched it. They come in. People I was in the military with, people I went to school with, and they were like, "We know you." She was talking about relationship where we know you were talking about all about life, and you were putting in every atmosphere. So you
Yeah.
never talk about relationship unless you're giving somebody advice on their relationship. I said, so what I need to talk to her about doing a relationship, and we do little ins and outs on there. She was like, yeah, we'll definitely tune in to that one. I was like, I bet I would.
Yes. I mean, we both have been married before. We definitely could talk about that for sure. I do have a guy coming on this season to talk about, but he's currently still married. But we could talk about and I got another lady coming on. Oh shoot. Oh yeah, we is loud. Okay. Uh um we could definitely talk about it. We could definitely talk about it. So let's brainstorm on it, like what aspect we want to talk about it on, and let's do it. You know I'm down.
They probably could be like a bringing into the next season a finale where we get a lot of people basically to talk and we take turns talking about different points.
Uh-huh.
There's like something like that. Instead of just being me and you, it could be a group of us and we give different points and different views. And
Yeah.
it's basically a collective of if it's similar, the same, different, have
Hmm.
witnessed it, haven't witnessed it. And it
Yes.
could be like a group thing.
I have a topic on my list that I wanted to do with like a panel based thing, but I think it's more. I have to look at the topic, shall let me see.
Down with any one
Because
of
I
them.
wrote panel next to it. I was like, this will be a good group discussion to get multiple aspects. Oh, yeah, that one was more so sex. But anywho, um,
Live right
we'll
now?
see. We'll see.
You
But
live on
let's
YouTube
do
right
it.
now?
Let's talk about it. Let's brainstorm and get it going. Hey, I'm on the Tizzoo. Um, just
I said, you live right now?
yeah, I'm live. I went live on YouTube too. So yeah, just live streaming for some people. That's all. That's all. Yes. But tonight we are talking about episode number 2. This is Legendary Shane. That was on episode number 3. But we gonna do our whole live next week on this, and I will be on time with that one for Monday. It's just the holiday kind of threw off some things, but we're still down tonight. Episode number 4 is dropping. Talking about I am far from weak. So we're talking about people taking kindness for a weakness in that episode. It'll be dropping at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight on YouTube for that visual. It's already live for audio on streaming platforms. So please check it out. Or join me over there on YouTube. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go over in my link bio, click on the YouTube button, and it take you straight there. And all you gotta do is press subscribe. I just made over 200 followers. Woo, woo, woo! I'm super excited. So continue helping me reach my goals. I appreciate you guys so much. But tonight we are recapping episode number 2 of season 2, which is talking about anger. I titled this one I'm Not Angry, I think. Because I really didn't think I was angry. But obviously, your girl got some deep rooted anger going on here. And we're working our best to heal it and do all the things. Hey, mommy. Um, so yeah, legendary. Do you want to say some things about anger, or I can, fire off these questions that I asked during the episode, and you can answer them if you would like. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, one of the questions is, um, who can really make you upset? Hey, John. I can't hear you no more.
Okay.
Is it me?
Can't hear me no more?
There you go.
Oh, who can really make me angry? Someone that takes my character for granted.
Woo. Now that's for real. I don't like it. I'm recapping a episode of my podcast, episode number 2 of season 2, um, which is talking about anger and my deep rooted anger that I didn't know I had, and so I had to work through it, and still working through it. So yeah, we just talking about that. Um, but yeah, legendary for real. One of my pet peeves, my major pet peeves, is somebody to insult my intelligence, and I feel like that can apply to multiple areas, right? Because if you think you was gonna get away with something or pull the wool over my eyes in the aspect you thought I was dumb enough to fall for it, that's insulting my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And that would just
It's like when you take my character, I'm talking about like the nice side of me, the caring and all this and that, and you basically try to torment it and say I'm not that person, or I'm doing it for a facade, or I'm like, no, this is the real me. Now, if I showed you the fake me, then okay, it's different. But the real me, and you're basically degrading the real me, and that's what makes me angry.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So anybody who does that, for sure. Another question I had was, what are the circumstances surrounding this angry feeling? Like, what would have to be the circumstances for you to be feeling that for real, for real?
Knowing that I'm giving all of me 100% to whatever I'm doing, and it being someone that's trying to take it away to use it as to get a stepping stool above me, basically. So that's right there. My surrounding, I care too much for other people for you to come in and try and use those people that I'm trying to uplift.
Okay, so another question is, when is it appropriate to express this angry feeling? When do you think it's appropriate?
And before it overloads and breaks the barrier that is in, before it spills out and reaches the wrong people, basically, before that anger reflects on others that's not involved in it, that's only trying to help you.
I I don't know when it's appropriate. I don't know the answer to that necessarily. I guess anger is a natural emotion, right? You can express it at any moment, any time, but I think it has to be controlled, like you said. Before it gets to that, you go into 100,
Yeah.
and you already feel like, I think you just kind of gotta like, okay, listen, I'm getting frustrated right now. This is what's happening. Like, express it. Then, I think it could be a conversation. You could feel anger, but not react in anger, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Um, yeah. And then another question that I like to ask myself now as a coping mechanism: why are you truly angry?
It really goes back to what I said earlier. Like, I'm a caring person, and if you're trying to downgrade me or diminish my character to put yourself above and take away from these people, knowing that I didn't put all my hard work and time into them, that's the barrier for me. It's like, mm,
Yeah. I have to ask myself this question because I can easily get caught up in um, being angry, especially with a specific person, opposed to me taking a step back and like, why is this really making you angry? Why are you tapping into that emotion? Because it's something I tell my kids all the time about choosing to be a certain way. And you could choose to be nice, you could choose to be kind, you could choose to be angry. Like, why are you choosing that? And so I have to step back and I be like, wait a minute, why am I angry? Like, what is really bothering me about this situation that I went to anger as the overall feeling or emotion? And then I realized that I'm really not angry. I'm more so disappointed maybe in a person or a circumstance that has happened, and it triggers my anger opposed to me just kind of breaking it down. Which I kind of further go into the episode expressing like the emotional wheel, the feelings wheel. If you've never seen it before or whatever, I would tell you guys to Google it. And it pretty anger is just like a surface level emotion. It's much more depth to it, and the wheel displays that. So yeah, but I try to use that now, like when I be like, why am I angry? Okay, I'm just frustrated. With my kids, I'm just irritated because they're not listening to me, and I gotta keep repeating myself, and I'm trying to get stuff done. It's not really that I'm angry, but I am a little irritated. Like, so
Frustration.
it's
Only time I see it as frustration is when it's someone that really doesn't know me from the real me and have not been around me, associated with me. That's when it is a nagging point. But when it's a person that been around me, raised around me, been around me for years, day in, day out, and they continuously do it, and I know for sure I done gave my all to them, gave them 150% of me,
yeah,
and you're doing that, then it is real anger.
yeah, yeah. I could see that. I could see that. And the last question I had was, how often do you find yourself here in this position of tapping into your anger?
In the past 5 years, I haven't seen myself into a anger stance probably but once in the past 5 years because I basically bottle myself up and stay away from a lot of. If I feel like I can feel when something negative is going to happen in a situation to the point to where I get out of dodge.
Oh wow.
So yeah, if I know how I am, yeah, if I don't have that mechanism around me to put me back to reality, I gets away. I create a space in between me and that what could be an issue, and I just go on by my own merry day. I come back when I feel like I didn't brought myself back to reality, and I can talk on a intellectual level to where we can communicate and get things over with. But hopefully, you don't start pushing buttons again to bring that inner anger out of me.
Yeah.
So hopefully you don't do that. But if I feel like you're doing that, I'll probably try and walk away again, and hopefully you let me walk away to cool down again, and we start this conversation over.
Hey y'all. Hey DP. Hey Queen. Hey Justin. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining. I am a day late, but never too late to share some good times with some good friends. We are recapping episode number 2 of season 2 of Life Be Life and podcast, which was talking about anger. Okay. And how I discovered that I have some deep rooted anger, and I'm working through it. Okay. And so I was just asking Legendary here some questions. Thank you so much, Patricia, for the follow. Appreciate you for joining. Um, and we were just talking about stuff. Y'all want to come up in the box and talk about y'all relationship with anger? Feel free to come in, tell your story, and we can kind of work through this together. Okay. Appreciate y'all. And
You know
again,
where your calm area is. Where you know where your cool calm area is once you get anger. Do you know where your arbitrage is, where you can go and relax your mind and get back to a level mind?
I don't know if I have fully. Thank you, Miss Waterfalls. Appreciate you for the follow. I don't know if I have truly tapped into one point of contact of me calming myself down. I don't think I have, to be honest. And that's something I need to discover. But like I said, like even in this, I said in this episode, I didn't ever consider myself an angry person, like ever. I'm like, oh, I'm so kind, I'm so nice. Like I've had angry moments. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. You know how you run into some people and you be like, oh, they just angry with the world. They just so negative. Like it's all connected. Those type of words or descriptions for people, but I never consider myself angry. But when my therapist forced me, and she was like, no, you're angry. And I was like, do you remember Bad Boys, that scene?
Yeah, Will and Martin.
When Martin was at the therapist, he like, she's like, you are angry. He's like, I'm not angry. I'm angry every time you tell me that I am angry.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like, I'm not angry. What are you talking about? But no, I really had to go through and like figure this thing out. And so I wrote about it, I journaled about it, and when I really opened up about it, I was like, oh, I thought I was angry at one particular person. No, this is anger that's been deep rooted or fed over the course of my life. I've been angry with this person, that person. And it's not even so much the people, it's the circumstance and the situations. So it's just been like kind of difficult for me to kind of process this. Like, oh, okay, well, I guess I am. But again, like I said, I got to figure out like what's my go to safe space. Like, okay, Portia, we're gonna bring it in, but I really try not to go to anger, and I really try to use. Yes, it's definitely buried. Thank you so much, Juma.
And
It's
I
definitely
like I
buried.
like how you said it because there's something I often bring up. Like went through some things at a younger age and everything, and it come to light. And certain people that was involved in it, I want to sit down and have a conversation with them, and it's like they avoiding me. And I'm like, when I was at this age, you act me to act like a adult or a grown person, and you older than me, and now you're acting like a kid by avoiding this conversation and don't want to.
Yes.
I know where my safe haven is. I just want to have a great dialogue between you, and we wash this away. I don't want to bury it. I want to wash it away.
Ooh,
Burying it only brings it back to surface because somebody's going to repeat the cycle.
yes.
So if I can communicate with you and wash it away, it's
Yeah.
offshore somewhere, and it'll never reach me again. It'll reach somebody else. You know, in that nature right there. But they won't have this conversation with me. And I'm like, you was involved in, you didn't do nothing bad, but you was involved in this situation. And I
Yeah.
want to enlighten you or have a conversation to see exactly where your head was, and you can understand where my head was, and we
Right.
can understand where the problem came up. And they're afraid of it.
Well, most people don't like to be confronted with the truth, right? And regardless if they did something directly to you or indirectly to you, they still don't want. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. Don't nobody want to deal with the feelings of it all. But I mean, that's just the truth of the matter, and we have to get better about having open lines of communication, especially. I mean, listen, we can give grace all day to people that we were around as kids because they didn't know no better. They was pretty much our age trying to raise us or be an example to us, and they were still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even, I could give you grace, but like you said, I'm just trying to have a simple conversation, and people shy away from having real honest conversations because it's hard and you don't want to face the truth about yourself or what you allowed or all that type of stuff. It's just, it can get real messy. Justin said, I'm always mad. Thank you, Scott, for sharing. Queen Jules. Okay, babe, no problem. I appreciate you being here.
Hold on, let me.
Um, wait a minute. Hey, friend, this Mr. Biggs. Why, Mr. Biggs? I can't. Dodging accountability is what Tony said. Yes, come on, Tony. Dodging accountability because they don't want to be held accountable. He said avoiding a conversation is like gasoline on a lit fire. And that probably is like really bothersome to you, right? Legendary.
It's
Wait, you went. Okay, go
difference
on.
between gasoline and diesel is diesel takes the time, and once it warms up, then it catches a fire. And once that fire is lit, it's hard to put it out. So basically, you avoiding it is throwing diesel into this situation that's already hot, it's heating up, it's about to combust, and it's going to spread, and it's going to be hard to put it out.
Yeah.
Gasoline, it pops and go.
Yep.
So
Okay.
it's diesel. Like, let's communicate. Let's get this down.
Yeah.
We can separate everything. Now you're extending it, and you making this diesel hotter and hotter, and it's gonna burn a hole through the earth until we get the situation up. But it's not. I'm not really holding you to accountability or anything. I just want to hold a conversation with you, and we can have some calm, cool, level head, and have a better understanding on situations. Because it feels like every time I see you, you think about what went on back then, but we never had a chance to talk about it because you afraid to talk about it. But you still judge me off a situation that you have totally no idea. It was only word of mouth from another adult that you never really communicated with me about. I am an adult. I went through the things. So
Yeah.
let's talk.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Hey, Ethan. Thank you so much for joining, boo. Hey, Portia. How you doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining. I used to internalize my feelings, which turned into anger. Sky, get out my life. Because that's what I have done all of my life. Is internalize everything that has happened to me. But it's not a good thing to do, right? Because it wasn't even somebody trying to cause offense to you. It wasn't nobody trying to purposely hurt you. But you take that away as a child when you're not taught how to respond to certain things, especially when people are avoiding having conversations and they just go sit down, shut up, don't say that, don't, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I caused this. Maybe this is me as a kid and I still have this issue to this day. Like, if something happens, transpires between me and another person, I'm always thinking, oh well, maybe I shouldn't have did that because they probably thinking the worst of me, or maybe I should have did. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like they over there mad and they bitch ain't thought about you, moved on with their life, and I'm over here compiling onto myself and my self worth, my self esteem, all of that type of stuff. Like it's a lot. It could be a lot. Thank you so much for joining, Sky. Hey, Alpha.
Good evening, Portia. Good evening, Legendary in chat. What I did want to say on this topic, because I am someone who works trying to work on my anger. Well, two things. Number one, I think it kind of stems from when I was a child, and I was raised by my grandparents who were older. So you weren't told that you were told not to express your feelings. There's other things going on. You're a child. Like your feelings didn't exist. So as you got older, you're conditioned to be like, don't nobody want to hear that. You work it out with yourself, pray on it, all that other good stuff. But what that does on part two of my thing of saying is what that does though, it burns something inside of you. You ain't doing nothing but hurting you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that comes out as an explosion, and then you turn into somebody that you didn't even intend to be, or who you are not. But that's because you have let all that stuff stay in, and it'll hurt you more than it hurts the person that you were upset with or that you didn't convey your feelings to.
Yes, 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 indeed. We can't hear you again, Legendary.
Every piece of anger take a piece of your soul.
Oh, that part. Okay. Justin said, grumpy old man over here. Lord Jesus. Alpha, what's the topic? Today we are recapping episode number 2 of Life Be Life and Podcast, which we are talking about anger. Okay. This episode I've discovered or shared with you all my discovery of my anger, my deep rooted anger, and just kind of like working my way through this and what I processed through it. Okay. So if you want to come in the box and talk about if you have anything to bring to this topic about anger and how it shows up for you or whatever, let's talk about it. Jump in the box. The boxes are open. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate you guys for tapping. What you say, boo?
I'm sorry. One more thing too. So when I had my second daughter, I hadn't done it in 11 years. So I went to parenting class because I was real rusty. And one thing I did learn from that, I'm big 50-50 gentle parenting and beating your child butt when you need to. But one thing I did learn about that too is that when we are scolding our children and it becomes physical, we have to think to ourselves, if we beating them because of what they did or it's because we're angry because of what they did, right? So our anger can go in different ways. It might not just help and reflect us internally, but it also can affect other those around us. You know that saying, hurt people, and we hurt the ones closest to us because we are angry. Maybe something that happened at the job, but you fussing at the wife when you came home because ain't no butter on the potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Like it can stream. It's a nasty web. That's why we have to be careful what we spew out.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Hey Tim, DJ Elroy and Tim acting up in the chat. Anyway, 9010. I can't. Yeah. So this is I'm on the tizoo. Okay. So yeah, it's definitely a ripple effect. I definitely agree with that. And that's why I said earlier with my kids, most time I'm not angry with them. I don't want to be angry with them. I think it's more so me frustrated or I'm irritated because they not listening or something like that. And even with other people, and I deferred to the emotional wheel or whatever. Everybody should Google it. It maps it out completely. Hey, Darren, thank you for joining. Anger is a surface level emotion, but it's really more in depth than that. And the wheel shows like the levels of what it could be. So most times when somebody does something to me, or I'm in a circumstance or a situation, and I go from 0 to 100, and I'm in my anger, it's more so because I feel disappointed by somebody, or I'm annoyed, or I feel withdrawn, or critical, or distant, or whatever. I feel let down. It's a lot of things happening opposed to just anger, but it's showing up as rah rah rah. I'm angry, but I'm really not angry. I'm just hurt, and that's really what be the base of it all. And we don't just be recognizing it as such, and we don't like to communicate effectively to kind of like work through it. We just kind of be like, whatever, I'm angry, this my attitude, woo off the bam. Like, bruh, calm down. You just having a moment. You were triggered. Most times that's really what it be. And so yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Thank y'all for joining. Hey Kia Bia, what it do, boo? Um, so in this episode, I also thank you everybody on Facebook and YouTube for being here. Appreciate y'all. Y'all can comment, and I can read your comments on here as well. So if you have something to contribute to the conversation about anger, let's talk about it. And even the Bible says that. I don't even think I said that in this episode, but we can get angry. It's a natural emotion, but we're not supposed to sin. The sin is within the reactions and what we do in this anger. That's really the issue. And I think we need to learn how to check those things. And again, ask yourself that question that I asked Legendary at the top of this. Why are you truly angry? And I did that with Sky recently. We were talking on the phone, and she told me something, and I got angry or whatever, and I was like, da 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 da, like so bothered. And then I was like, why am I letting this get me angry? Like, really had to stop in my tracks after going off for like 2 minutes. Like, whoa, like, wait, what's going on? Why am I angry? What's happening? Oh, okay. Like, I have to check myself. And then we need to do more of that. And I'm learning. Because it's not an easy thing. I've been conditioned to kind of like go there, be defensive, snap off, act out. Like, but I don't want to do that. It takes so much energy. I don't want to use my energy for that. Tony said untapped emotions evolve into bigger problems, so it's important to stay intact with you. I totally agree, Tony, for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay. Um,
It's like
so go on, Legendary.
um, some people can't identify why they're angry, and they don't realize that it's a revolving thing that happens to them, and they keep getting caught in this moment.
Yep.
And some people that know that they're angry won't own up to being angry for the simple fact of their emotions is tied up to it. They want to show anger because it may push them forward on something. Or you can be a person like me that doesn't show a part of being angry, but they use it as a motivation for positivity. So me caring for others is like me owning up to me having a little anger and want to do better about other people that wasn't done to me. So
Yeah.
they didn't feed feed to what I needed at the time. So I'm feeding to what people need and what they may want and try and guide them to a better place. So I hold on to that part of an anger situation that went on just to put myself forward to helping other people be successful, not go through that role, being a leader, a teacher, a role model, or just being of some being a source that somebody can come to
Yeah.
and vent to get knowledge from, whatever it may be that
Mhm.
they need at that time.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed. Totally agreed. For those who may have just joined, this is Life Be Life and Podcast with your host, Portia O. And tonight we are recapping season 2, episode 2 of Life Be Life in. It is on YouTube for the visual, but on all streaming platforms for everything else. For podcasts, if you want to just listen to it. And I am talking about the title of this episode is I'm Not Angry, I think, because I really didn't think I was angry, but I broke it down in this episode of what I discovered within discovering that I am or have some deep rooted anger within me. So this is just something that I use to kind of like help process this. So if you would like to, you are more than welcome to. Thank you, Sky, for posting the times and everything. Oh yeah, episode number 4 is dropping tonight. We are a day late, but we're never too late. Okay, so episode 4 is dropping tonight, and I'm talking about I am far from weak. Okay, talking about people taking your kindness for a weakness. Okay, come on, tap in with me at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube to watch the premiere of that episode. I will be live chatting with you guys over there. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the link in the bio. Go on over there and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Darren said, I had to heal the little boy in me to get control of my anger issue. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It really be deep rooted. So this is the process that I kind of went through and still again implementing. Okay, first I recognize the cause or of my issue. First of all, you acknowledge that you may have some deep rooted anger, right? Secondly, what could possibly have fed this anger? What are some potential causes to this anger, right? And I kind of outline like past relationships. This is not just romantic. This is all types of relationships, okay? Past relationships that have rooted and planted this anger in me, and that have grown in into some sort of bitterness, essentially. But yeah, that so you should probably acknowledge that you have an anger problem. And a lot of people don't even want to do that. That first step is hard. Like, I'm not angry, but like if you really look back and like really look in the deep parts of you, you might have a little anger issues. Okay, I get it. Secondly, what is the cause? Yes, yes, Legendary, what you say?
I was saying that's a lot of people trying to acknowledge why they're angry and having accountability for being angry. If you
Right.
can acknowledge why you're angry and know why you're angry, you can probably use it for a positive thing.
Yes, yes, indeed. So acknowledge it and then find, oh God, sorry, find some potential causes for this said anger, right? For me, like I said, it was past relationships that I have dealt with. Third, find your triggers. What could potentially be some triggers for you? You need to write that down or be honest about that, turning a red flag into a green flag. Okay, Tony, come on. Um, yeah, find the triggers. We need to recognize our triggers and call them out by name and be like, you know what? That's a trigger for me. Cause and you can go back even further, like to why this may be a trigger for you, right? But you need to acknowledge your triggers, okay? Um, oh, well, and so like I said earlier with Legendary, oh, thank you, Corinne. How you doing, girl? Like I said earlier, one of my triggers for my anger is somebody insulting my intelligence. I don't like for nobody to think, no problem, thank you, Sky. Appreciate you, boo. I don't like for nobody to think that I'm not smart or think they can pull the wool over my eyes. And if I feel like I'm getting that type of energy from somebody, that's a trigger for me. Like, oh, you thought I was dumb enough to fall for this bull, or you could do this to me. Oh, okay, cool. Like, that's what we doing? Yeah. I don't insult my intelligence. Do not, because I am far from dumb. Far. Okay? So, um, so yeah. Hey Tony, yes, Tony says same. So that's one of my triggers. I think Legendary gave one of his triggers. You did, right? Um,
When they try to downgrade my character, the person that I am truly on the surface and at heart. You
okay.
know, when they try to degrade you just to put themselves above or use the environment that you have that they see as being positive to you and you're being positive with.
Yes, yes. So that's the third thing you could do. Recognize your triggers. Fourth, Corinne said, I agree. Don't play with my intelligence, kindness, or time. I'm talking about my kindness tonight in episode 4 that's dropping at 7 p.m. Because people really have taken my kindness for weakness for many years. And like I titled the episode, I am far from weak. Very far from it. Do not play with me in my face. But this is not. This is, see, this, here I go already. I'm already being triggered. Don't play with me. But the fourth thing, well, I guess I reordered these. Acknowledgement is the next thing. Acknowledging it's not them, it's a choice that I'm actively making. Acknowledging that nobody can make you upset. That was one of the questions I asked at the top of this episode. Who can make you upset? Nobody can make you anything. You are choosing to be upset. You are choosing to be angry. You are choosing to be high in your emotions and flipping out and going off. But we like to minimize that or displace blame on somebody else and be like, no, it's your fault that I'm angry. It's your fault that I'm mad. It's your fault that I had to do this. Even we have in our culture have practiced doing that with our children. We'll be like, it's your fault that I'm whooping your butt. Wait a minute. Like, I get it, I get the sentiment, but also like, okay, like you're choosing to whip my butt because that's what you feel like you need to do in order to discipline me effectively, right? Not that you know what I'm saying, but we ain't finna get all into that because I ain't finna have that discussion with y'all. We'll do a whole episode on that another time. But yeah, it's rooted in us to think that it's somebody else's fault for our emotions and how we feel. And that's not just anger. Even when we be like, I need to get with somebody that's going to make me happy. Nobody can make you happy. You have to find these things within yourself. You have to choose to be a happy person. You have to choose to be a joyous person. You have to choose to be a kind person. Nobody can make you be these things. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to be careful about assigning our feelings and emotions to other people and placing it on other people. Acknowledge what's going on within you instead of trying to push it on somebody else. You know? Tony said, Q-tip, quit taking it personal. Exactly. I like that, Tony. Q-tip, quit taking it personal. Period. Legendary said facts, self-love, self-happiness, and self-care. Period. Tony said, be my peace. Won't work if you're already miserable. Hello? Say it again for the people in the back, Tony. I think we talked about that earlier today. But yeah, how you asking somebody to be your peace and you ain't even your own damn peace? What? What are we talking about? You ain't even at peace with sitting by yourself, but you want somebody to share a space with you and be at peace. Child. No. You have that choice. God gives you free will. Utilize it. Okay? Guess whose bike? Mr. Biggs, I don't have time for your shenanigans. Why is this your name? Why is this your profile picture? Who is Dan? It's a lot happening. But thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yeah, so acknowledging it's not them. It's a choice that you're actively making to be angry, okay? Let me be great. I'm going to let you be great, boo. I'm going to let you be great. You be great. I'm not saying that name. I usually would, but nah. Anywho, so
I was gonna say Tony gave me it's a question I had to ask one of my coworkers because he recently got divorced and everything, and the girl that he's talking to, he was asking me like, don't she sound miserable? I said no, she sounds like she's lost and misguided. So I had to ask him. I said, would you rather deal with a female that's individual that's miserable, or an individual that is misled and misguided, someone that's lost that need that guidance? And it stunned him yesterday. I mean, he froze and he had to think. I said, at least with a lost and misguided person, there's hope. I said, sometimes miserable people take a long period of time, and by the time you fix that miserable, they move on to the next person.
that part, that part, okay? Yeah, and see, listen, you can't be trying to go in and fix people problems. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother episode. You trying to come into somebody's life and like, oh, I'm gonna fix them. I done been super saver hoes so many times. I can't say these hoes. I'm sorry. And it's not even that they're hoes necessarily. That's just a saying. But also, some people ain't trying to do better, and you can't make them better. They have to choose to want to be better, or you know what I'm saying, like. And if they already miserable, you ain't gonna come in and bring them joy, peace, and happiness. Like, you can exude those things and people will be attracted to you if that's what your light is like giving off. You're gonna draw people in and they will want to suck that from up out of you. But also, if they're not doing their own personal work to get their ish together, baby, I'm trying to tell y'all, don't. Abort, abort, abort. Don't do it. Don't do it. That ain't it. So acknowledging, and then the last one was solutions, okay? Figure out some solutions. So again, first we're gonna find the cause of this anger, triggers that affect this anger, acknowledgement of what's actually going on with you, okay? And then figure out some solutions how we can get out of this place, right? How to be better about this. Because me personally, I refuse to be bitter. I refuse to be categorized as an angry person, even if it's within myself or whatever. I don't want to be walking around giving attitude to people all the time. I don't want to be known for, yeah, she be going off. She be snapping off. Yeah, she go from 0 to 100. I don't want to be that person. Like, it's exhausting. So if that's not the vein that you're trying to live in, figure out some solutions that can help you switch this. If you can feel the emotion of anger, it's just the fact that you shouldn't live or dwell in that space. And I think I said in this episode, I know people that walk around and be like, oh, she get on my nerves, I'm gonna scratch her eyeballs out. Oh, this person this and that. I'm like, what? Who does that? Like, why are we? It's just angry for no reason. Like, who hurt you? And why did you internalize that? And why did you let it dwell for so long that this is still who you are? You've learned nothing. You've been in no type of educational environments that you can take away from things. No spiritual help, no nothing. that you're still walking around on earth angry about something that somebody did to you or a circumstance that you were a part of as a kid. Like, that's concerning.
Hurt people.
Hurt people, even like toxic people. Like, we just be like, oh, they toxic, but I like it. Like, we're attracted to that. We're like in awe of toxicity, even on these social media apps. Okay, because this platform is positive, okay? But I can't get, a bunch of people in the room on some positive ish most times. But if I was in here being real negative, slanderous, cussing, acting a dang on fool, doing the most, oh, it would be thousands in here.
But they
You
don't
know what
say
I'm
though.
saying?
Negativity always made the world go.
Negativity.
If
It's really sad. It's really sad.
if you look at the news, something great can happen. Somebody saved 1,000 people in an accident. It'll be on the news for a split second, but let one little negative thing, oh, this happened, so the price of this is going up, and they're gonna talk about it for eons.
Yep. 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 It's just, so we need to get more solution based. We can acknowledge problems, we can have conversations, we can do all those things, but we need to get to the solutions as to how we can be better, right? And just because the world is not a fair place. Yes, we as a people, okay, power to my people, we be going through a lot. We are bred in this defensive mode, right? Because we got to survive out here in these streets. But even with that, that doesn't mean that we have to be walking around being angry and hating everything and so like disjointed. Like, it's just so many things that we can. I understand it, but I don't. God hasn't called us to be that way. I just don't believe it, and I'm not gonna accept it. And I don't have to live in dwell in that vein because that's what you want to do, or that's what you think I should do. I'm not gonna do what you think I should do. I'm gonna move how my Creator made me. That's what I'm gonna do. So, um, if that means that somebody cut me off in the grocery store line, that has happened to me so many times. And I will run through many scenarios in my head and be like, Portia, if you do this, you the black woman here, they may be like, call the police. Like, I have to run through scenarios all the freaking time, and it's so annoying. But I'll be like, you know what? It ain't even that serious. I can wait one more time. But somebody else will be like, they ain't finna do me like that. F that, blah, 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 and cause a whole scene. It'd be a whole uproar. May not make it home to your babies. I ain't got time. I'm sorry. And if you think that that's problematic, that's on you. But I don't want to. And you can still communicate to somebody that even if they cut you off and goes, hey, I was standing here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, cool. And they go about their business. But I'm not gonna be jumping off the handle about something that's out of my control. Like, it's cool. Like, it's not the end of the world. Calm down.
I'm
Tony
like
said
that.
some people. I'm sorry. Go on, legendary.
I'm like that with like on the road or whatnot. Like if it seems like you finna run into me or whatnot, if I gotta dodge you, I know I'm a great defensive driver, but at the same time, you making me use my defense. Now I'm throwing somebody else off because you wasn't paying attention. And
Right.
I just feel that little anger come on. Like somebody almost T-boned me yesterday. Just so happened I was able to get out of Dodge before they T-boned me, and they hit somebody else head on. And I'm like, that could have been me, and I would have been angry. Now my vehicle's down, and I really want to bless you with these hands.
I
And
know.
that was running through my head the whole time. I had to come to my safe haven, which is my house, and cool down and like, you dodged it, you okay. They came close, but you've been trained for this to dodge all this. So
Yeah.
calm down, be cool. And then you go back out on the road and you see a car that look exactly like it. Not knowing if it is or isn't. You see
Right.
the same exact make and model, and you like, y'all angry again. I'm like, I just went to my safe haven. I cooled down. And I'm like, I don't drink anymore neither. So it's like, I since I've been a sober person,
Mhm.
it's like, I used to bury it with a little alcohol or whatnot, just to
Yeah,
suppress it or get away from stuff. But
yeah,
I've been away from all that, and I'm like, I might drink a beer or two, but I ain't hitting that hard liquor like that for real. I'm
yeah,
unless it's a holiday like Thanksgiving. I took me a shot of Douce. That
mm,
about it. One shot and called it a day. But
yeah.
like, man, y'all, the road rage is really there.
It's real. It's real. I lost my god brother due to road rage a year ago. Um and something so simple. Something so simple that we could have just let, but because we have, you know, it could have just rolled off your back. It wasn't even nothing, but we give power to things that aren't even necessary. It's again like giving up your energy, your time, your power. I don't have it to give to that. I got a plate full of stuff that I could be doing and giving my energy to. I don't have it to give to that any longer. I don't want this to keep brewing inside of me. I don't want to keep living in that space. Like it's uncomfortable. Um and my power doesn't come from performance or acting out. My power comes from God. God didn't give me that. So I'm not going to live in that space. But that's my personal preference. But I hope that if you do recognize that you have anger issues, even like it shows up, it peeks through a lot. Um, I give people attitude for no reason. I be like, why I got an attitude? What's going on? Why am I angry in this moment? Like I have to check myself all the time. Um, because I can turn it on and off when I want to. You know what I'm saying? So if you can control it over here when you on the job and you ain't cussing your boss out, most people don't do that, but some people do. But if you ain't cussing your boss out and you can control it over here, why you can't control it over here? Like you got discipline when you want to. It's something up with that. So it's like switching of the mindset, changing how you view this and how you're gonna react and how you're gonna respond to things. Tony says some people you gotta let be hurt. God is the only one who can fix people. Their mess isn't your stress. Okay, Tony, I feel you. Sky says she agreed. Listen, it's a whole thing out here, but I don't want to be angry. I don't claim to be an angry person. I will not be an angry person. And yeah, that's just how I feel about it. And if you do consider yourself being angry or being around people or things that trigger you, circumstances that, push you to tap into that feeling, that emotion, again, I encourage you to go Google um, an emotion wheel or whatever, and you can kind of break down how you really feel and why you're feeling this way. It will help you express yourself better. Again, do the things, find the cause of your anger, all the causes of your anger, figure out your triggers, acknowledge why you're in this place, and find some solutions. One of the solutions, like Legendary said, finding your safe haven. What is your safe space? What could you think of in the midst of you tapping into this emotion that can help bring you down, bring you back? Um, I've been in high stress situations recently, and I was like, my kids are here. I cannot act like that old Portia that would be doing all of that in front of my kids. Like I refuse to show them that. So maybe that's a part of my safe haven. I could think about my kids. I'm thinking about getting home to them. I'm thinking about being with them. I'm thinking about being their protection as their mother. Because if I get taken out from a momentary feeling such as anger, what they gonna do?
Your
You know what
kids,
I'm saying?
your kids can be your safe haven because what runs through your mind, it calms you down thinking about being away from your kids, somebody raising your kid. Your kids going through something negative in life that you went through that you don't want them to go through. So you
Exactly.
can use that as a safe haven to cool yourself down, to get a stable mind, to
Yes.
mentally calm yourself. So
Hmm.
that also can be a safe haven. A safe haven really doesn't have to be a physical asset, a physical place. It could
Right.
be a mental place in your mind, like someone calling your name that's trustworthy, that can calm and cool you down, or you know, remembering at an event or just passing by something, taking a drive just to cool off. That's a safe haven.
Yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
some people
Whatever it
ride
is.
horses, shoot guns. They got different ways that they calm themselves down. All of it considered a safe haven.
Yes, yes. Tony said, yes, get an outlet. Get an outlet for real. Whatever that looks like for you. I love to paint. And maybe when I'm feeling like super anxious or high stress, or that I'm really like feeling anger, like brewing, like I'm really frustrated, I'm really annoyed, I can paint. And I start painting, and it's a release. It's a release. I can journal. I can talk to a trusted friend. You can find anything like to tap into to help you through this process. But the most important thing is acknowledging all of these things, figuring it out, and working your way through it. Like I said, this doesn't happen overnight. I'm still processing this. And I do still get angry, but when I get angry, the number one question for me right now is, why am I angry? And addressing that head on and then breaking it down from there. That's just like where I like to start from. But whatever works for you guys, more power to you. We are about to go over to, I was just about to say this person's name, Justice Lord 87. Thank you so much for joining and liking the live. I appreciate you. I thank you all for being here. We're about to go over to, what just happened to my thing?
Your episode finna start up in 2 minutes, so it's doing a countdown.
Oh, okay. So, yes, we're about to go over to Life Be Life on YouTube, and we're gonna watch episode number 4 together. Okay, so follow me on over there. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now. Go over there. We're gonna watch the premiere of episode number 4, talking about people taking my kindness for a weakness. Okay. Yes, thank you, Legendary. Take it. I'm always look at this big old cheese, Lord Jesus. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna leave you all with my Speak Life affirmation, like I always do. So today's Speak Life affirmation for this episode was, I forgive myself for taking so long to let go. Again, today's Speak Life affirmation is, I forgive myself for taking so long to let go. You heard it, you say it, you write it down, and remind yourself to speak that thing and make it happen, because life be life in us all. Y'all have a wonderful night. See y'all on YouTube right now. Go on over there. Thank you, Legendary. Appreciate you guys.
All right, everybody. Catch